everyone. Today is a new day. I hope everyone has had something good happen for them this week, and I hope you're having a good day as well. I do apologize for this podcast being a little late, as it was supposed to come out last Friday, and now it's the middle of the week. I was having trouble being able to record this because I was working, and there was a lot of noise going on last week that made it difficult to record when I wasn't working. So this podcast is for last week's video, and then you'll have the other one come out as well for this week's video. So let's just jump right on into it. For the video last week, the phrase of the week is, the only person who is going to give you security and the life you want is you. The way that I look at life is that there is only one person that you will be with for the rest of your life, and that is going to be you. You will have other people in your life that may be with you for a long time. There may even be some people that have been with each other their whole lives. There could be. But people do not always stay with you. People do move on in more ways than one. And as far as I know, there isn't anyone who will know you better than you. So you will be the one person that is going to be with you your whole life. As a result, you are in charge of you. You are in charge of your actions and choices. You are in charge of how you navigate obstacles that are before you. You are in charge of determining what your beliefs and ideas are. You are also the one that can provide yourself with the security that you need and the life that you want. Now, there are going to be supports in your life that can help you along the way, and that is important to remember. But ultimately, you're the one that needs to determine what kind of life you want, what kind of security you need in your life, and being the one that actually strives for that life that you want and provides that security that you need. And to do that, it does help to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, like we talked about the week before. So make sure you take care of yourself so you can get what you want out of life. Moving on to the emotion of the week. This week, it's pride. And the meaning of pride is a feeling or deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. I do believe pride can be a positive emotion, as we do need to be proud of ourselves every so often. We don't want to be too proud to the point that we can't recognize achievements in others or good qualities in others, or to sound like we're bragging about stuff. But some people, and sometimes I need to do better with this myself, we do need to take a moment and recognize that we have done well, or we have qualities that we should admire in ourselves. Pride can be a good thing, especially when we accomplish some difficult tasks that we have never been able to do before. We should also be able to pat ourselves on the back and feel good when we've taken a step forward, especially if it's a difficult step. We should also be able to recognize the positive qualities we have in ourselves and be proud of those. Show some pride in yourself every once in a while. Again, you don't want to do it all the time, but every once in a while, be proud of yourself. Be proud of the accomplishments you've made. Be happy and proud for the qualities that you have as well. Moving on to practice mindfulness. This week, you can try to spend some time getting to know yourself. And we should all be able to try to do that every once in a while because, as I said, to go along with the phrase, we should all look at spending some time just getting to know you, getting to know what kind of life you want, getting to know what securities you need. And this kind of goes back to the week before also, where it is necessary to take some time just for you. So during that time that you spend for just you, consider getting to know a little bit more about yourself. It's hard to be able to get to know someone else and to share your life with them if you don't know much about yourself. Ask yourself some questions that you would ask someone you're meeting for the first time. Keep it simple at first. Like, think about what your favorite things are. And if you are the type of person, like me, you may find out that you do not like what your favorite blanks are. Those kind of questions. I hate those questions because it is so difficult for me to answer it. I can't really explain why. I think some of it is because I change my mind based off of my mood or what I'm doing in the moment. And it's just hard to pick one sometimes. But that may be something that you find out about yourself if you sit down and start thinking about what your favorite color is, what your favorite food is, what your favorite animal is. You may find that you just can't answer those questions. And, there are people like that out there. You can also think about your likes and your dislikes. Keep a list of this if you'd like. You can write a journal down as you get to know yourself more. And as you continue to get to know yourself more and more, you can start thinking about what your beliefs are. You can think about what you would like to believe in. You can think about what you would like to understand better. Again, keep a journal. Write this all down. Look back over it every once in a while. Hopefully with this, you'll start to learn more about yourself, and you'll be able to eventually share that with others. And again, you may be able to figure out what it is that you do need in life and what securities you need as well. To spread the positive this week, write something positive down on a slip of paper and give that paper to someone who could use a boost. I've seen these posters up around in places, mostly public places like parks and attraction kind of centers, I guess if that makes any sense. And the posters have strips of paper that you can pull off. Doesn't have a number on it, doesn't have a website on it. Instead, the pieces of paper have phrases on it. And they're pretty generic, like you're awesome, or have a great day, or you are loved. So you could do something like that for someone. If it's someone you know, and you know they are having a rough day, write something short and simple that may bring a smile to their face. If you don't know a person that well, or not at all, you can write a generic phrase and hit it into them. Keep it positive and nice, and hopefully you'll spread some positivity around. Again, when you're feeling good, spread that to somebody else to help them feel good too. So the last part is the thoughts to ponder. And for this week, it is, what is something I have accomplished this past year that I can be proud of? And this was actually a little difficult for me to come up with, as I feel there have been some major challenges this past year that I've had to work through. But the only thing that I could really think of was when I quit my part-time job. So to give you a little bit of background with that, this was over months of noticing that people who had been there for a while were starting to quit. There was also complaints from customers and from staff that were, not really good. to hear that was also going around as well. There was also this feeling that was building up that made me uneasy while I was at work, despite the fact that I really enjoyed my job. I liked the position that I was working in. I enjoyed my coworkers. Despite that, there was still this uneasy feeling in kind of like the back of my mind that something just wasn't quite right. And as months went by, more and more people were starting to quit. Some of the manager on duty managers there were quitting as well. And that was kind of a red flag to me. Especially since most of these people that were quitting were people that had been there for over a year. So I really wasn't happy. At that point, I was starting to really not like my job. And I haven't ever quit a job like that before, where I wasn't happy with it. I've quit because I didn't really need the job anymore, or I've had temporary jobs before, but this was the first time I've ever really quit a job because I wasn't happy with it. And I'm normally not the type of person that likes to give up on something. Part of my thought process during these months that led up to me quitting, I kept hoping that things would get better. And unfortunately, it didn't. So I did quit, and I moved on to a different job. So that was an accomplishment for me, because again, I'd never done anything like that before. It was a little nerve-wracking, because part of me really didn't want to quit, but I did quit. I left in good standing. And now that I'm in a part-time job, it's a lot happier now. I actually am getting what I need from that job. So another part of this was I had a coworker that was fired. And it was not for a good reason, in my personal opinion, and in the personal opinion of a few other coworkers. It was really weird, the reason for this coworker being fired. And probably about a month or so after I quit, I got a call from my coworker asking if I could help them out with a testimony because they were denied unemployment. And so I did decide to help, despite how I was really nervous. I was a little scared about it because I didn't really know, I guess, what the consequences would be for doing this, especially since I did leave in good standing. I figured that I was probably going to burn a bridge with upper management by doing that. And that kind of made me a little nervous. But the coworker who I considered a friend, still do, I felt like they were being treated very unfairly. And I did not like what was being said about this person and why they were fired. So I helped out with a written testimony that upper management did read. My friend, my coworker, did get their unemployment. And it was a major step for me to do this. So I actually do feel like I've accomplished something that I would never probably normally have done before. Knowing that I helped somebody that I do care about was a good thing. And it was also a good thing too that when I did write my testimony, it actually helped because I realized what specifically sort of it was that made me quit. And it made me realize that for me, I didn't think the upper management had very good leadership skills, is what it boiled down to. So doing that actually helped me out in a few more ways than one. It kind of gave me a chance to be able to speak my mind about what, the reason why I quit, what I felt about that. And it gave me a chance to help somebody who really needed the help. So I was proud of what I did. I was very proud of myself for doing that. And that's what I've accomplished. That's one of the things I accomplished in the past year. It can be difficult to think about that, especially when you've had a rough year and there's been a lot of negative stuff. But do try to think about something that you have accomplished and be proud of that, especially if it's something that you've never done before, especially if it's a scary situation or a situation that makes you very nervous. Don't be afraid to try something out. Don't let that stop you from being able to do it. So the last little bit that I want to talk about is just to let you guys know, and I believe I did cover this in the last podcast, but just to let you guys know that with these podcasts, these are what my beliefs are in terms of the videos. When I choose the phrase and the emotions, choose, what you should do for yourself and choose what you should do for others and choose the thought to ponder, I think about how these phrases and emotions and all of that, how important those are and what I believe to be true with those. So this is my beliefs, my ideas. I don't expect everybody to believe in the same things that I believe in. I don't expect you to do anything that I say that you could do. Please do not take this as advice or anything like that. If you have different ideas, different beliefs, let me know in the comments below. And let's discuss it, because I am all for conversation. At least constructive conversation. But just keep in mind that I'm not actually trying to tell you guys what to do or what to believe in. I'm just putting my ideas out there of what I get from the videos in hopes that, maybe this might help somebody, especially if you're feeling a particular way and you can relate to what I've talked about. Or maybe to reaffirm a belief that you might have. Maybe to give you something to think about if you've never thought about something I've talked about before. Or, maybe just to give you something to talk about in terms of if you have a different belief or a different idea than me. Maybe I'll give you something to talk about too. So please do leave comments in the comment section below. Please do have a conversation about what you hear on the videos or in the podcast. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And we will talk to you later. Bye.